Every once in a while, we come across a game that most of us on staff have never heard of. Then we get our hands on the final product and we're pleasantly surprised by what we're playing. That's the case with Silent Dreams and Heads Up Games' newest title, Grotesque Tactics. Grotesque Tactics is a parody strategy role-playing game. If anyone ever wanted to take Final Fantasy Tactics and jam it together with some bad anime and Monty Python, the result would be this game. And in our eyes, that's an awesome thing. You play the role of Drake, an emo swordsman who is depressed from failing his exam into the military academy by being defeated by a mushroom. You're on a quest to stop the Dark Church from ruling the world, and along the way you're joined by a holy paladin named Holy Avatar who only refers to himself in the third person. The two of you recruit an army of 3 personality-free and half-naked virgin maiden archers named Mandy, Sandy, and Candy, all of whom fall instantly in love with Holy Avatar, as do most women in the game. You eventually round out the party with a total of 10 characters, all of whom fill the traditional role-playing archetypes like wizards, rogues, berserkers, and so on. Grotesque is a game for geeks. More specifically, it's a game for gamer geeks. It's full of movie and video game references that our demographic will find particularly amusing, like finding green mushrooms with white spots that play a particular tune when you pick them up. Or fighting the saber-toothed white bunny named Monty, or this white-haired swordsman who looks awfully familiar to a certain Final Fantasy VII villain. Or my personal favorite, the ghost bunny named Darko. Grotesque even has its own version of chocobos called Chocochicks. The dialogue in the game takes one jab after another at the geeky side of life, and to lighten the mood even further, Grotesque has its own in-game cosplayers who dress up like you and your party in the central city. If you want a good laugh, you should honestly give Grotesque a try. While the game is humorous in its approach, it still offers some genuinely fun and addicting gameplay that will provide a decent challenge at times. The battle system is done in traditional turn-based strategy gameplay. You move your characters on the grid and attack accordingly. Tanks are short range but can take heavy damage, while archers and mages can attack from afar but they can take very little damage. Controlling the game is incredibly simple. Everything can be done with the mouse and the left click, but its simplicity can also be deceiving. There were a few fights that definitely gave us a run for our money. Graphically, the game isn't very intense. All the characters and art are done in a stereotypical JRPG style. Most PCs currently in service right now should be able to handle it. There's also a WiiWare version of the game, but we can't speak for it, we've only experienced the PC version. Aside from the slightly lackluster graphics, the only other hangups we found with the game were its length and its camera system, neither of which were game-breakingly bad. The camera can get a little fussy in tight places, and it wasn't as responsive as we'd like, but we managed. In the end, our final save time was 9 hours 58 minutes. That's 2 minutes shy of 10 hours. That of course does not account for the hour or so of retrying a few of the game's missions. For a strategy RPG, that's on the short side. However, this isn't a full-price title, so we're not really holding it against Grotesque. Once you've finished the game, there's little to no replay value. It is a shame they didn't include a level editor in the game. Grotesque is fun, the gameplay is absolutely solid, it's funny, and while it's not a very deep game, the writing is top-notch and it definitely scratched our itch for some decent strategy gaming. It is a bit on the short side. If you want a deep strategy RPG, look to the King's Bounty series. However, if you want a good chuckle while you're still getting some good gameplay in, Grotesque might be your next game. We're rating this one worth buying.